Hello everyone, I'm just showing a small part of the painting process on one of my semi-recent works, while I blab about some techniques I use to motivate myself or to increase the efficiency of doing my digital artworks. The tips in this video are for people with limited time for drawing or for completing artworks that require more than one session. For example, you do sketch and lining for one session, and then another 2 sessions for coloring it. Also, this applies more to non-commissioned works because let's face it, money itself is some serious incentive to finish drawings. Personally, I find it difficult to complete artworks, especially when I need more than one sitting. So I have gathered some tips for completing artworks in a more efficient manner for those that struggle to find free time to draw. My tips will be more oriented to helping those that draw digitally, although some of them can be applied to those that do traditional artworks too. First tip, do as much of the drawing as you can when you start a new drawing. When you first start a piece of artwork, inspiration and enthusiasm is usually at its peak. So you should really take advantage of that spike in motivation for as long as it lasts. Second tip, try to allocate a specific time each day to complete the drawing. It's more for the purpose of habit building than anything. Less important is how much progress you make, but the main thing is to make your brain think something is wrong when you haven't worked on a piece of art within 24 hours. Third tip is kind of related to the above tip and one that I use from time to time in order to push myself to finish drawings. Aim for something small and doable each day if you really have no time. Example, just draw a sketch, or just color the hair, or one part of a character's clothes, etc. You know time is short, don't overcomplicate things and think about having to finish the whole thing at some point in the future, but just think about finishing one small thing today. Fourth tip, when you're coloring, lay down all of the base colors for the big shapes that make up your drawing as soon as you can. It's a method of tricking the brain into thinking the work is nearly done. If you can, pick to finish half of the base colors in a painting during one drawing session, instead of completely finishing coloring one small section of the painting. That way, your brain interprets it as, hey, 50% of the work is done, not long to go now. And it's easier to get motivated than when it thinks, wow, I've only done 10%. 90% of the work is still there. Having all the base colors also help the coloring process itself because it allows you to consider how the colors will reflect off of each other. And it does speed up the painting process a lot. Fifth tip, stick to one piece of work at a time. It's tempting to start other drawings when inspirations hit, but I've been down that track enough times to know it usually ends up in a pile of unfinished works. And then the old OCD part of my brain starts some serious self-loathing. If you are so sick of trying to finish one art, your brain can't handle it anymore, then you can try starting one other piece. But 2 would be my limit. Try to make sure the 2 artworks have quite different subjects. For example, one can be scenery and the other is depicting a group of characters. That way, your brain is actually taking a break from the work you were struggling to finish, like you intended. Sixth tip, when you plan out your artwork, for example, the drawing style you want to use, or the character design, or shape or of the object, or background elements. If you have any visual references for them, make them readily available or in view as you work on the art. Having a reference while you draw makes things at least 3 times easier. Efficiency in drawing means you'll need less time to finish it, and more time for other things. So never ever feel bad for having references to guide you while you draw. Okay, that's my list of tips to help in completing artworks for artists that are lacking a bit in time or motivation, or both. I'm curious to see if there's many artists out there that finds this video either relatable and or helpful. Don't be shy to leave comments below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!